Donald Trump's pledge to take over Greenland overshadowed Tuesday's parliamentary elections.
I have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
What if the fate of global power rested on a frozen island you never thought twice about? Picture this. Beneath the vast icy surface of Greenland lies a secret battleground where great powers are clashing over untold wealth, advanced military technology, and the control of emerging global trade routes. In a world where Arctic ice is melting at an unprecedented rate, Greenland has suddenly become the prize that could reshape international power balances. Stay tuned, because in the next few minutes we'll uncover how this remote wilderness is at the center of a high-stakes tug-of-war between the US, Russia, China, and why its future might just determine the course of 21st century geopolitics. Greenland's story stretches back centuries. Colonized by Denmark in the 18th century, its political and cultural identity has been shaped by a long history of external control. During the Cold War, its icy terrain became a strategic asset as military bases like Thule Air Base were established to monitor Soviet activities. Even as early as 1946, following World War II, the United States offered to purchase Greenland, a bold move that still echoes in today's debates. Before taking office, President Donald Trump held press conferences declaring his interest in acquiring Greenland and the Panama Canal for economic and national security reasons, even hinting at military action if negotiations faltered. Though leaders in Panama, Denmark, and Greenland dismissed these ideas, the historical roots of U.S. ambition in the region run deep. Yet beyond the great power rivalries, the voices of Greenland's indigenous Inuit, whose ancestral traditions and memories of forced relocations add a profoundly human dimension, remind us that this isn't just a chess game of nations, but a struggle for identity and self-determination. Greenland now stands at a crossroads in an era of intensifying great power competition. The Arctic is awash with Russian military bases, and Moscow is ramping up its presence, while NATO maintains installations across North America and Norway. Yet Greenland remains a strategic outlier with only a few key facilities. Thule Air Base, in particular, is the backbone of early warning systems in this volatile region. For President Trump, expanding U.S. military installations in Greenland is not merely a defense strategy. It's about asserting dominance in the Arctic. Increasing American presence would bolster the nation's ability to monitor Russian operations, secure the critical Guyuk Gap, and ensure robust deterrence in a region where every inch counts. In response, Denmark has even updated its royal coat of arms and pledged an additional $2 billion toward Arctic security, making it clear that Greenland's future is fiercely contested. The Arctic is warming at a breakneck pace, 4 times faster than the global average, turning Greenland from an isolated, icy wilderness into a land of opportunity. As the ice melts, it reveals vast reserves of untapped resources, rare earth minerals, precious metals, uranium, and billions of barrels of oil and gas. At the same time, new shipping lanes are emerging, such as the Northern Sea Route and the Northwest Passage, which could revolutionize global trade by drastically reducing shipping times and costs. Greenland's unique geographic location at the heart of these emerging routes provides the United States with a significant economic advantage, not only by securing critical resources, but by positioning itself at a key maritime crossroads. However, while the economic potential is enormous, the challenges of harsh weather, limited infrastructure, and environmental concerns pose serious obstacles. For Greenland's predominantly Inuit population, the promise of economic growth is intertwined with the need to preserve cultural identity and protect the fragile Arctic ecosystem. Greenland's untapped mineral wealth is a modern treasure trove, housing one of the world's largest reserves of rare earth minerals, critical for advanced technologies like electric vehicles and renewable energy systems. The island represents a strategic counterbalance to China's dominance in the global supply chain. For the US, securing access to Greenland's resources could reduce dependency on rivals and boost national security. Historically, the U.S. expanded its territory with landmark purchases like Alaska and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Trump's renewed ambition to acquire Greenland, including the possibility of military action if necessary, echoes this expansionist mindset. His proposals reflect a long-standing American desire to secure strategic territories that offer both defense and economic benefits in a rapidly evolving global landscape. Despite its immense potential, Greenland remains in a state of political transition. Under Danish rule since the 18th century, it gained home rule in 1979 and further autonomy in 2009. Today, Greenland possesses the legal right to declare independence through a referendum, even as it continues to rely on substantial Danish financial subsidies. Recent controversies, like the Danish birth control program that many Greenlandic politicians have labeled as genocide, have only intensified local calls for independence. Trump's outspoken remarks on acquiring Greenland have inadvertently fueled the independence movement, with some Greenlanders now seeing this renewed U.S. interest as a way to leverage better terms from Denmark or accelerate their push for full sovereignty. Looking ahead, Greenland's future is poised at a critical juncture. One scenario envisions a gradual move toward full independence, underpinned by a diversified economy built on its natural resources and the new maritime trade routes emerging as Arctic ice melts. A prosperous, self-reliant Greenland could serve as a beacon of indigenous empowerment and sustainable development. Alternatively, if external powers dominate the narrative, Greenland risks being reduced to a strategic asset exploited by superpowers like Russia or China, rather than a thriving, independent nation. This would leave its people at the mercy of geopolitical interests that may not align with their own. A third, more balanced approach lies in deep regional cooperation. Greenland, Denmark, and other Arctic nations could negotiate new frameworks that protect local interests while addressing global security and economic challenges. Such a cooperative model could help Greenland build the necessary economic and political capacity for eventual independence without compromising stability or cultural heritage. So why does President Trump view Greenland as indispensable? His vision is driven by a combination of military and economic imperatives. Despite an extensive network of Russian bases and Moscow's expanding influence in the Arctic, Greenland remains relatively underdeveloped in terms of military infrastructure, its key asset being Thule Air Base. Expanding U.S. military presence in Greenland would significantly enhance America's ability to monitor Russian submarine movements, secure the GIUK gap, and provide early warning against potential missile attacks. Simultaneously, Greenland's untapped natural resources, rich deposits of rare earth minerals, oil and gas, present a massive economic opportunity. As global supply chains become increasingly competitive, especially with China dominating rare earth production, securing these resources would reduce U.S. dependency and strengthen national security. With new Arctic shipping lanes emerging, Greenland's strategic location also promises unparalleled advantages in global trade, making it a linchpin for both defense and economic strategy. The battle for Greenland is about much more than military bases or mineral wealth. It is a contest over identity, sovereignty, and the right to determine one's destiny. From its colonial past and Cold War legacy to its emerging role in 21st century geopolitics, Greenland embodies both immense opportunity and deep vulnerability. As Arctic ice retreats and global power dynamics shift, Greenland stands at a critical juncture, a frozen frontier where the future of international security and economic power is being actively shaped. Greenlanders now face a defining moment. Will they seize the chance to forge a future of genuine independence? Or will external powers dictate their fate? In a world where strategic assets are up for grabs, can Greenland truly chart its own course? The answer lies in the hands of its people, voices that echo across the ice, demanding respect, dignity, and self-determination. If you found this analysis thought-provoking, subscribe for more deep dives into the geopolitics shaping our world. And while you're here, don't miss my previous video on how AI is becoming the 21st century's nuclear arms race, exploring who will control tomorrow, the US or China. Your thoughts and insights drive the conversation forward. What do you believe the future holds for Greenland?